Eyewitness News is your local election headquarters. The race to become the Democratic nominee is still on, despite a strong showing from former Vice President Joe Biden in Tuesday's primary contest. Biden won in at least 4 of the 6 states voting.
But Senator Bernie Sanders is still holding on, announcing today that he is staying in the race. Although Sanders admits he has work to do if he wants to beat Joe Biden. Pressure within the party is now expected to mount for Senator Sanders to abandon his challenge after he lost those 4 states last night. But Sanders says he can win with the support of young voters.
I say to the Democratic establishment, in order to win in the future, you need to win the voters who represent the future of our country.
Meantime, Joe Biden is asking all of Sanders' supporters, young and old, to join him.
Eyewitness News reporter Kate Walsh joins us now from the control room with what this could mean for the future of the race for the Democratic presidential ticket.
In the Democrats' race for the White House, former Vice President Joe Biden has gone from a slow trot to a pivot and a full sprint ahead. Now Senator Bernie Sanders is hoping to not be left in the dust. He was banking on a big win in Michigan Tuesday night. That did not happen.
When we had 12 candidates running, Bernie Sanders 35% looked very strong because the vote was being divided up. Now we're down to 2 candidates, and 35% means you're losing the election.
Eyewitness News political analyst Joe Fleming explained Sanders' win in Michigan 4 years ago might not have been the result of loyal supporters, but instead people voting against Hillary Clinton. Fleming credits Biden's sudden jolt of momentum to support among African Americans and suburban voters. He said Sanders will have to change his strategy and soon to win more delegates.
He has to come up with something that's going to expand his base. The problem is he has his base of voters. He's been unable to expand his base over the last 4 years. For example, we saw it African Americans. He spent a lot of time over the last 4 years trying to increase his support there. In all the polls, the exit polls are showing that support has not increased.
But Sanders does have a secret weapon, an energized base of young voters.
And Bernie would need to be instrumental in trying to get the young people out to vote to help Joe Biden if he's the nominee.
At the end of the day, Fleming said Sanders will simply want a Democrat to kick President Trump out of the White House, even if he's not the person to do it. Next week, voters head to the polls in 4 states, including Arizona, all states that Sanders lost 4 years ago. Rhode Island heads to the polls on Tuesday, April 28th. In the control room, I'm Kate Walsh, Eyewitness News.